stories, all the pictures of the girls with sexy bodies and so on. Yeah, now is your time. Start with the 1st of January, whatever. And I always like bought it. It was the motivation from outside because it's so.
Last podcast of the year. Topic is New Year's resolutions. And you cannot find that in the dictionary. But what we can find in the dictionary, it's resolution.
It's gonna pop up the resolution on the computer. Something.
Yeah, there's gonna be the FPSs, frames per second. Resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something. And the second one is the quality of being determined or resolute. Right, like that says much.
Yeah.
Right. Let's put something. Let's put resolute definition. Like I want to know now. So resolute means admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering. All right, kind of goes there, right? So I have a New Year's resolution to go to the gym every day, not every day, 5 times per week, and usually lasts till end of January, because that's how much we are determined. I'm just messing around, but there is a thing, right? You go in gym, in fitness is usually you go in January, they're fully packed, you cannot get nothing, right? And then in February, it's like, man, are they giving something for free out there, or where is everybody? Right? So it's back to those 10, 15 guys who are usually there. Anyway, jokes aside, right? So what do you guys hear when you hear New Year's resolution? Like, what is the first thing that pops to your mind? And chat, that is a question for you too.
Okay.
Well,
right. Yeah.
You want to start? Yeah, go.
Okay, cool. So for me, it's actually the first thing that comes to my mind. It's commitment for the new year. So all of the plans. What I'm gonna do, as you said, like I'm gonna go to the gym every day now. Gonna work hard on my body. All that plans, all that actions that are like. That goes under the idea of the next year I will be the perfect human being, and and I'm gonna fix everything I regret from the last year. I'm gonna do, I don't know, I'm gonna be better, my life's gonna be better, my, I don't know, money situation's gonna be better, like everything. So to me, it's actually like fixing of everything that I or we don't like in the past year. So I would say these are the New Year's resolution in my mind.
Yeah, cool. It's good. It's a good thing that you expose. Fixing, right? It's all about fixing. There's something wrong with this year, so next year I'm gonna fix this year. That's what I would do, right? There is something wrong with me, and next year I'm gonna fix all the broken pieces of me. So all right, cool.
The commitment.
Yeah.
Because we already talked on commitment a lot, but it goes down very, very fast. Yeah. We let it go very fast. So,
yeah, we'll look into that, but a great point, and I think many people will find themselves in this words. Yeah. Ula?
I hear overexcited because as I work in this wellness fitness industry, I could say that like when it comes January, like I have so many clients, everybody's coming back or starting or whatever, and I know exactly it's gonna last for a month or maybe 2. That's like max, and then you have one of 100 persons that's gonna like stick to it. And I can see that people really decide to do something really big, like they are overexcited, overwhelmed, whatever, and they decide to do everything now, and they, let's say, they didn't eat healthy for a year, yeah, or 10 years or whatever, and now they decide, I'm gonna change everything in one day, 1st of January, and my life is gonna change completely, and I'm becoming a healthy, fit person, right? Yeah, it's like overwhelmed, overexcited. That's what I hear.
All right, interesting, and definitely it is out there. For me, to be honest, when I hear New Year's resolutions, bullshit. That's what I really, to be purely honest. I have this resolution, and like we just read what resolution is. It's really standing for something, on committed. Nothing's gonna be in your way that you fulfill that. That's what basically a resolution is, or to be resolute. And kind of bullshit. That's what I hear. It's like, and yeah, it's a lot of both of what you were saying. There is a lot of overexcitement, a lot of fixing, and another thing that I hear, it's like big plans with no structure. It's like,
Yeah.
big plans with like, no plan, like really no day-to-day action, how you're gonna fulfill it, what's gonna take for you. It's just like New Year's resolution is like this big fancy idea that, I know I can do it, but I don't set up a really strong plan to follow it, so I will already fail. So next year it's go, and then it happens like how I see it. Then it comes March or April, and they're like, next year I will do it, even though there is 8 months to the next year. You're like, all right, next year I really do it. This year I'm gonna leave it like it is, and then next year it's like, so yeah, that is for me. And chat said, Mrs. JP said, for me it's an excuse for postponing things which you could do now. You don't need New Year for new goals or resolutions, just strong context. Yeah, that's it. Tomorrow I'll really do it. And
it's
then,
like Mondays.
Yeah, it's like Mondays. It's like 1st of the month. I start on 1st of the month, right? Because because on 28th of the month, that's not a good day. It's like, it's broken and the stars are not aligned correctly. I'm a little exaggerating, but that's how people, but that's how, right, we go. Like, today, I feel the constellations are not in place. I don't know what it is exactly, but, I have this gut feeling that today it's, workout would be just, I will injure myself. So, Monday. Yeah, Monday it's a good day. So maybe now that 1st of January it's on Friday, I think more or less all the people are like, Monday, 4th of the January I start. I start on 4th of the January. It's not 1st because first one is Friday. You cannot. I mean, Fridays are not for new beginnings. Fridays are, for powerful endings of whatever.
Let's party.
Yeah, let's party for 3 days. It's like New Year is a Friday, for Thursday to Friday.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, starting Thursday morning, right? You have to eat all the leftovers on Friday, so that's what Mr. JP called. You can't do it on Friday. It's like, imagine everybody being in gym on Friday the 1st at 6 a.m. Because New Year I start. But even though we're joking, it's like we all know, because it's true. We all, I guess, went through it, right? It's like otherwise you wouldn't know. We all postpone things and say we'll do it later. Except Ula never does that. Ula goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Special, yes.
Yeah, she's working in this industry. So she's like a demigod now for us. She's like, I start on today, and she goes. She doesn't go like, my goalie. I was just joking. Put all the jokes aside, right? So, what we're always also discussing, like, what is the nature of whatever the topic we have. So what do you think is the nature of New Year's resolutions, if you would look into it? What do you think, why did human beings come up with the New Year's resolution?
I actually read somewhere something that it was about. I mean, that in the history that there would be some kind of rituals and everything for the gods. They asked like the gods that they would grant them like fertile year for food, for everything like that. So maybe it comes from that they stopped, looking at now gods, but now I have the power too in my life. And I see it, as I said before, in fixing, that you'd have to do something better, that you'd have to make things work, that just to turn around everything that you don't like. So I think, in my opinion, or if I say like that, that's the thing why we do it on the nature. So like,
All right.
Yeah, it for me, what it comes up, it's like new beginnings. People really love new beginnings. Like, oh, I ruined everything, or I fucked up everything, but now it's a new year, so I can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and my point would be also like, the New Year's resolutions, as I would see the pure nature of it would be, that you complete the past and really get complete with it, and then create the future like out of nothing on a blank page, right? Like, you don't look at yourself and say, okay, last year I gained 10 kilos, so this year's resolution is going to be I lost this 10 kilos, because that's not creating from nothing. That's like, that is not accepting the situation or respecting your body. That is just like assessing it, being judgmental, and now I'm gonna go work it. You will see, you fat on me, you will like, right? Like, I mean, that's how I see the nature is that. And as human beings, we like to twist it, that like most of the things we like to, it's also here, right? It's, and then there's a lot of marketing around it. It's such a nice way to see that, how everything is pumped. New year, new beginnings, like Ula said. Now you go and buy yourself this car, it's that much cheaper. Now you go and go hit the gym, you have first month discount 50%. It will, and it's just like, and you cannot blame anybody. It is what it is. People buy that. It's using what is out there. If people wouldn't buy it, we wouldn't go. They wouldn't put that out. And on the other hand, I would say it's just, why do we need that? I mean, I get it, in the ancient times they need it, right? It's like, human mind evolves, human body didn't evolve that much. It's pretty much the same for the last 20,000 years. It's like we didn't like mutate it in some way, we used to have 3 lungs, now we have only 2, or 5 years, now we only have 2, right? It's pretty much the same. So I would just be like, why do we need it? In the 21st century, why do you need a new year to start a new project?
Because we're consumers.
Yeah. Say more about that.
Because it can be sold very easily and like in a big way, because it's really the biggest like it's the biggest event of starting new. We have Mondays, we have beginning of the month, and things like that, but then there is this new year, like 1st or 2nd or whatever of January, and you can sell everything, like, oh, come to our gym and buy this for, I don't know, 3 months, half of the year, because everybody are super excited. And of course, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to stay for 6 months because this is my New Year resolution, and you can, I don't know, join this program because you will be more, I don't know, self-confident and you will get a girlfriend, blah, 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 whatever. So it's really easy to sell on those days, because we are such a consumers. We just buy everything that could instantly fix something. So that's why I think it's a big bump about New Year Day and resolutions.
All right, cool. Just in between, Mr. JP said to feel better about all the things they didn't, we can say we, not they, but we didn't accomplish in the previous year, right? So because next year you will fix it, so now you feel better. So it goes that way, and just like what Ula said, do you have an example where you were like hooked like that? Like did that happen to you?
I was
Mm-hmm.
for sure, because I was when I think that's also connected. When I was celebrating New Year, I was like all about New Year's resolutions, and now I'm not celebrating New Year because I really just see it as another day.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is different. Yeah, maybe I can go ski on the first because everybody are having a headache because of all the drinks they had. So it's cool to ski on that day.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
otherwise,
in the past, how it was like,
yeah,
did
yeah.
you give us an example of how you were hooked and what were
When
you dealing with
when
then?
I was still doing that thing like New Year's resolutions and the whole celebration and everything, yeah, I was always okay. Now I'm gonna have this body. I don't know. I'm gonna have a six pack or whatever. Because I was overeating the whole of December, and then it was the first, and I said, okay, now I'm gonna have a six pack, and I don't know. I I buy some fat burners or whatever, and I put myself on the program. I'm gonna train every day like crazy, and so I didn't understand my body that time. And yeah, it went well for I don't know 2-3 weeks, and then I exhausted my body myself. I was just like a zombie walking around, and it ends. And yeah, but next year I did it again. Because I was so pumped up from motivation from the media, the social media, all the stories, all the pictures of the girls with sexy bodies and so on. Yeah, now is your time. Start with the 1st of January, whatever. And I always like bought it. It was the motivation from outside, because it's so simple to buy that motivation and not get it from the inside. But what we actually need is the internal motivation, that why, and to have like you said, a really good structure to get to your goal.
Yeah, and just like it was a comment before, context, right?
Yeah.
Just like if you do it to have a six pack, it might be a good context exactly for that 3-4 weeks, and then you say, oh, it's too hard, it's not possible for me, I'm out. Because the context was this small, right? It has nothing big to fulfill in future, right? So yeah, thanks for that. It's just like it was easy, right? Emma, do you have any examples like how it is for you, or was for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm a little bit crazy for new starts. Exactly from what we said before, it's like a fresh start. Everything is clean and squeaky, and you don't have to really worry about from the things that you messed up already, even if you did the same thing, and you're now doing it like from the start again. As Ula said, that she's get pumped up, and I also saw that it comes from this hunger for drama, for excitement. It's like all the happy hormones are up, and I'm so woo! I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be amazing. And I would I don't know. This happens to me like every year, every year for my college or school before. When I'm like this year I am going to study. I am going to do like every day. I'm going through the stuff that we did. I'm gonna, be on the track all the time. It's gonna be all perfect. And then I'm gonna be totally great on exams and stuff like that. And I think I get these unreal expectations from what I think it's gonna happen. And also I would say it connects with what you said before, that we get really big goals. And I would say set like that, okay, I want that huge, I don't know, goal. Maybe it's like all 10s on college, but I already dropped that a long time ago. So
yeah, all right, but let's just say, right, you have this big goal, all 10s on college, and then what?
Yeah, and there is no structure, no little steps how to get that. So when I start, and then like maybe in a week or 2 weeks, I have the system, I do something, and I study, and then suddenly I'm like, there comes first day that I'm like, today I don't feel like it, and I don't know, I'm gonna do double tomorrow. So, and I'll have a day off today. And then tomorrow comes, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I maybe do something, but then again, next day it's again like, oh, and then in 3 days it all falls apart, and I stop doing it and completely forget about it. And I get like I face like a wall hits me that my goal is way too big and I have no clue how to get to it. So it's like, oh, it's all pointless. This is unachievable, really. I mean, it's achievable, but in my mind at that moment, I'm like, I'm not going to do that because in that situation, it's impossible.
Or even better, because you don't feel like it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. I love feelings. So and it's really, I don't know if it stops only me, but I think like it's a lot of times that it's like that we do, and then one day, and we slip, and then it just goes down the drain. So yeah. So I have that every year pretty much, but not for New Year's. I stopped having resolutions, even though this year I was like, what if I would have some New Year's resolution? Like, what if now I buy all the, I don't know, the food, whatever I need for, I don't know, food supplements that I would need or whatever, that I would be totally healthy and stop eating carbs as in like wheat. No, sugar. With sugar. You see, and that's already exactly.
It's already here,
Yeah, and it already falls apart before it even starts.
Exactly. So. Yeah, that is the most brilliant point, right? It's already, the groundwork is so weak that it's like a house of cards. Yeah. Basically, that's strong. Most of our New Year's resolutions are like house of cards. Right? No groundwork, nothing is there, right? So for me, it was pretty much the same, right? I remember it was just like, this year, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna like. I remember every time. It wasn't just New Year's resolution, but let's call it like new beginnings, right? It's just like every college faculty, university year, it was like I said, all right, this year I'm gonna go to all the lectures and all exams. And there comes the second week, and I was only at not exams, all the lectures and all the exercises. I was only at the exercises that were like obligatory. You must be there because you must sign yourself. I was out. That's how strong it was for me. So, and pretty much with the New Year's resolution, it was just like that. It's just like, when I see that they already pump people in January, take care so you will look nice on the beach. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Why are you saying that, What's your point, man? Why shouldn't people look good all the year? Why only for the beach? And then it's like, what? Are we gonna be bulky? Winter. And I remember I usually looked the most I was the most ripped and in the best shape in the winter because I was there's nothing much to do. So you pump the shit, right? It's like when there is a good weather, you're out, you're doing something, right? so that's how, I never really liked New Year's resolutions, to be honest. Like I said, I don't really remember. I was really searching for the memories that I said, all right, this year I'm gonna, but it's like, maybe I had it just like, in a way, I really wanted to be in a relationship. So I had, all right, 2017 sucked. So 2018 is gonna be the year, right? Or, in between like 2011 was, all right, it sucked, fudge that year. But like 2012, it's gonna be better, right? This year is the year. So
It's my year.
yeah, it's like, oh, right? And it wasn't, right? 2018 was, right, Mr. JP? I think it was 2018 it was, yeah. But like it was just that. But in the 2018, I already had some tools that are, so to call tools, or how to powerfully deal with New Year's resolutions, so to speak, or ending of a year and creating new. But anyway, it's a tool that you can use for anything, right? At any given point, it's about really powerfully completing whatever happened, and then creating from nothing, like I said before, right? No, it's not about fixing, it's not about changing, it's not about better or more. Like we people are usually always about better, more, different. That's what we're about, right? Better, more, different. I'm gonna be different, I'm gonna have more, I'm gonna be better. And then usually it's really small steps into that. And I really want to look what is in there, like what is behind, because it's so simple. On the other hand, it's really simple. It's like and we just don't really do it, and it's a lot about fixing, fix, right? And it's a lot coming from that there is something wrong with us. So we even had it before we started. It's like the Emma shared with us, and I will let you share about it, because I think many people, especially this year, will find themselves in that. So it's like, I'll start it, you continue, because I can just go share now and out of the blue, right? It's gotta be right. So Emma shared with us that she is anxious and she doesn't know why, and it's just like, so I believe that many people are feeling anxious out there, right, at this moment, right? It's like the future is really uncertain. We don't know. It's like there is a pandemic until 18th of January in Slovenia, and then you don't know what's going to happen after that. It's like it's going to be still on, not going to be still on. Where is the new mutated virus? Like, they said it's already in Italy, so we are next to Italy. What's going to happen? Like, can we be working? It's online going to suffice? It's not going to suffice? It's like, can we go visit our parents in a different, but, yeah, sure, you go violate everything, but then, you don't want to violate it because there is like, you might get a penalty or, whatever. So I believe there's a lot of it. So Emma, what did you just saw, or what do you want to share about it?
Yeah. Okay. So as you said, yeah, I've been feeling really, really anxious lately. But just I don't know for how long, maybe a few weeks or something like that. I mean, I'm an anxious person, if I say like that, from like most of my life. So usually I'll be like shaking my legs and doing the stuff all the time. But yeah, now it was really that deep feeling of like my crushing my chest all the time, and I've gotten so frustrated with it that I don't know, that I had to say something. And as I said, it really takes a lot for me to say such stuff, because it just kind of gets stuck in my throat and I can't get it out. But I shared that with Luca, and I've shared that before with Ula and Jarne. And I've been thinking now, from when we had the talk and then from now on, that it's maybe even the thing, why am I so anxious? It's okay. One is the fear and what's going to happen. And now that was holidays, and they even like said, okay, you can have like Christmas dinner together with your family, but like a few people from the two households and stuff like that. And then I was already thinking about, oh my God, what if someone had corona? What if I, put it on? And I felt as, oh my God, it would be like huge burden in responsibility, as in moral responsibility, if like I would be the person to spread to someone else. And then maybe, I don't know, that God forbid, but if my grandparents caught it or something, and that they would die or, stuff like that. So that was maybe the first thing that got me into this, like, spiral of all. And then the second thing is that I'm not the most social person. So I was really great with being at home now for like really from March I was until November I was great, or maybe even start of December I was like, oh, I enjoy this home life. So but then it's kind of, so the second thing was that it kind of hit me that now I suddenly miss people and this like real contact of hugging someone, of like being alive with them, not just by Zoom and video calls and stuff like that. And then the third thing is that I and a lot of people that had, I don't know, their hobbies. I know my dad loved going to his dance lessons, and now, you know, dance lessons are called off, and it's not a fun thing to just dance alone by yourself. I mean, a bit, but not really, you know. So, and for me, it's that I would love to do gardening and I would love to be in nature, and I somehow feel that like just being alone at home in Domžale and just being on my phone all day and that social media, that really crunched me, it really like pressed me together in feelings, not like
Yeah.
reality. We all know that doesn't happen, but
No,
in feelings
you
that,
lost 10 centimeters on your height. We can say it. It's like you're
I mean,
still-
I actually lost weight because, but yeah, and I feel that all of all of this tension, all of this anxiety is actually, could be, or whatever, if I speculate, could be that I don't do the stuff that I enjoy most and that really relax me, that I would say that they calm my soul. So for me it's like, I don't know, digging on the garden, putting in the plants, and, you know, doing all that stuff. So yeah, and I've been dealing with that now lately, and I hated it. And yeah, one of the things that we were talking about earlier is how it's really, it's okay, that is, you know, how it is, and that really the thing is to first accept it, like accept yourself even, and that there is, if you look at it, that there's maybe something wrong with you for being anxious, for being like that, for feeling like that, when you in fact have no control over your feelings, and they're just there, they just come. Yeah, so that you first just say okay, or I mean say whatever, that you accept yourself and accept the situation, and yeah, and then I don't know where would you go on, Yatne?
No, I mean, you know, it's just a great thing because I think, look, it's the end of the year. A lot has happened this year. You know, even the earthquakes now that some of the parts of Slovenia felt it, and it's like people are going, can this year finally ends? You know, it's been a shitty year, and you know, then comes up just what you said, right? And not talking about it. I think what I would expose is that you said it to Luca, but it's like not right away, right? Or not after the first week or second week, right? It has to be like really tough and hard.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just and it's so simple just to share it with somebody else. Just like, you know. But it takes something, just like you said. You have this, you know, you have feeling like, you know, you really are, you know, if you're gonna say you're gonna die. It's like we said before, right? It's just like you wanna say it, but it's such a vulnerable space that we are not used to it, right? It's just like when the animal throws themselves on the back, then they know they're okay with you. Like when the cat does that, you know they're okay, right? Because otherwise they protect their most vulnerable parts of the body, you know. And that is for us human beings, when we like really share what is going on for us, it's like, you know, we are being at that moment we're really being vulnerable, and you don't know how the other side will react, right? They might go like, all right, I'm not gonna deal with this craziness, I'm out. You know, you're anxious, I don't want to deal with it, bye. You know, I know anxious people in my life, when usually the fact is that, you know, people usually embrace it, and you know, they really are amazed by the courage that it takes for somebody to share it. So, and another thing is, you know, I'll fix it on my own, right? I'm a
don't
strong
say it out loud that I
don't
don't
say-
really create it.
yeah, you know. And then just in what you share, we could also see, right, what you resist persists. And that is like you get this feeling, but if you start resisting the feeling, it's just gonna be there and be there, and it's gonna, like, it's just like the food for it. It's just like, all right, you want to resist me? I'm gonna be with you until you gotta resist me. I love you for that. That's the anxiety, the actions is like, Emma, thank you. I'm alive. I'm alive. Right?
That actually, oh my God, that remembers me when I was a little girl, or I mean, little, I'm always little, but I was about 9 or maybe 10, I don't know. And my mom said to me, because what you said, what you resist persists, that I was really stubborn, right? Like I would do stuff if you said I can't do stuff. And my mom said, you can't chop up, with axe, you can't chop up the tree, which was, I don't know, like walnut over that. And I was hitting it all day until it finally dropped. So, but yeah, so sorry, that just came into my mind because I was like, because she said I can't, and I was so in it, I'm gonna be here like until I don't know, it breaks.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That was the for stubborn people, that's the food, right there. That's something that will pump the stubbornness, right? And it's the same for the feelings. Like you're resisting it, you're just there. Or sometimes some people are having pains, and then they put the mind into it and go really into the center of it, and then it just disappears. So how come, right? How come? How is that possible? So, but yeah, to say it is just like, that's why I've really, it's about New Year's resolution as well. It's like, anxious about 2020, excited about 2021, but also anxious about 2021 because you don't really know what's going to happen. And it's just like Happy Cake, it says the majority of the people might be anxious about 2021. And it's out there, right? For me, what was present for a long time, and I didn't want to express it this year, it was like fear. Like really, really fear. It's like when I said it out loud, because most people perceive me as somebody who is strong, who has his shit together, who usually is there standing for other people, right? So rarely anybody comes to you and asks you, hey man, how are you? Right? Like really deeply interested in how are you? Just that. Because how are you? It's a state of saying, hey, how are you? Like, and you can test it out. To some people, you can say nothing, how are you? And they will be just like, yeah, nothing. Yeah, all right, bye-bye. Right? Yeah. Right? It's just like, it's a state of, it's a safe to say it, but not really be interested in it. So for me, it was like really fear. And then we were on some call with people all over Europe and down to Middle East and Africa. Having some coaching on how to talk to people in these times, right? What really makes a difference when you talk to people in these times. And there was this lady, Cindy the Cosimo, called, and we mocked the conversation, like how it would be, like it's a role play, and she was the one asking, and I was being me, and she called me and said, hey, Cindy the Cosimo here, I want to tell you something, but before that I will ask you, how are you? And my response was like, are you asking that for just like you're asking, or you're really interested? And she said, no, I'm really interested, I really know, how are you? And in that moment it just struck me, for me it was like, I'm petrified. And then there was silence for about half a minute, but it was just a silence of, she really gets in me, like she really get that, I'm petrified, and me really just, being with it. Because when you say it out loud, then you can really be with it. And if nobody says anything, it's really a space of being with it, and be, you can then start becoming okay with it. Because if somebody says back, because how we usually people react, like we want to help immediately, right? So you're petrified. All right, cool. What we gonna do? All the the energy comes all over the place, and then you kind of again just put it back down behind, not dealing with it, right? So silence is really good thing in this kind of cases. Just being with it, it's okay, right? And that is basically where it also dropped for me, you know. And if you would ask me why I'm petrified, I could go like, look, I don't know. Ty was about to get vaccinated. This corona is all around. You know, the business, the stream, we don't know how it's gonna go. We're putting all these projects, putting the work in it, but you know, there's no guarantees it's gonna succeed. It's like, you know, then you know, there you have my granddad is becoming weaker. Like every time I talk to my grandma, you know, something new. It's not that just in a bad physical shape. It's not nothing ill at the moment. He just said that has having hard time walking and needs support with that. But you know, so we don't know how long is that gonna be, right? So it's similar for Ultra's situation with her granddad and grandma. So you know, it's all of that. It just comes up, you know, and it's just if you don't talk about it, it's just yeah, you know, petrified. And I think you know this year it's like it's on a lot of people, I would say. And then the funny thing is when you say it out loud, when you're open to it and you know willing to accept it and just being with it, just goes away. You don't need then, you know, how we usually men deal with it is like it's alcohol, it's drugs, it's television, it's you know, it's gaming for most of the male part of the world. So you know, when there was casinos open, you went to casino, but now right now you can online be betting, you know, anything, you know, sports, watching sports, or you know, anything, just not to be deal with how you are. And Ula just dropped. What's going on? Ula, no, because it messed up the camera. So let me put it like that, and when she'll be back, I'll put it back on podcast. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, she's back. Okay, cool.
That is fast.
Yeah, cool. Right. So it's just like anything not to be with it or not talking to it. And even when if you go around and ask your friends how are you, people usually go like, well, I'm okay. I'm okay. Right. So, Ola, where did you go? All right, cool. It was the same time behind. I know it.
Yeah, that was it.
He did the magic, you know, magic. I saw him do something with the head. Right. So it's just I really, you know, really, it's just so easy, and you know. So for me, one of also just like you said, the thing is that you don't get to be with the people you love, and then you set up these Zoom meetings but in advance, like you know, I have a group of friends, we have a group on Viber, but when I put out let's talk to each other, right, let's put a video call, it's like one answers with okay, the rest of the tree doesn't even respond to it, you know. So then it immediately comes up the question, it's like, you know, do they even want to talk with you? Are they friends then, or you know, what are we having this group for? It's you know, it's immediately going into the questioning of all the things, right? So I think you know, to really start creating a new year, you need to really be completing this year, like being okay with what happened and what didn't happen, like you know, declare it complete. That's the magic, like saying it out loud. I'm complete, that I you know didn't earn 30,000 this year, that I don't have 80 kilos, 10% body fat, that I don't have 80,000 followers on stream, that you know, all the things that I put in plan, and you know, and it didn't happen. And you know, it doesn't mean anything. That's the funny. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person, or you know, I'm a failure or whatever. It just means, you know, what it means. You know, you were playing for 80, happened 300. Great. You know, it could be 0. So you know, right? So, and in the meantime, Andrew said, but still, in the biggest crisis, there are the biggest opportunities.
Yes.
True that. But people must begin to live consciously and create consciously. Exactly, Andrew. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So, anything for you, Ula?
What he just said, that you know, when the biggest crisis came, or like problems or whatever you call them, you have two choices, you know, or you step up your game or you fail. So I think that's a great opportunity for all of us to try something new, to become better at things that we are not really that good at. Like, I don't know,
Cooking.
I wasn't that good. What?
I said cooking.
Cooking. Good one.
Huh.
But no, let's say I wasn't that good in social media, the stories, right? Stories, using it for my business. And I was like, I'm so good at my business, like talking to people, like eye to eye, and shit, what I'm gonna do now, but I knew I can complain for another month and I lose that month, or I just say, no, that's great. I can learn something new. Let's do that,
Yeah.
So it's just the side of the coin that you pick,
Right.
you can turn it around that quickly if you want. So yeah, that's how I see the era that we are living into right now.
Yeah, right. And not that we don't acknowledge, like, I really, like, first of all, nothing is wrong whether you fail or, you take the opportunity. It's, if you didn't do it until today, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you because of that. I really mean it. There is nothing wrong. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. And if you took it, doesn't mean you're a good person or anything like that. You just mean you took the opportunity, and the other, who didn't, right? It's just that simple. And that is just what, like Andren said, right? Just, begin to live consciously. It's just like acknowledging what happened, and then, what the meaning that you put to what happened. Just like, you didn't take the opportunity, all right, that means I'm a failure. Nope. What it means is there was an opportunity, you didn't take it, and now you're complaining. That's what happened. That is what's happening. Right? That is purely it. And it's, you said it perfectly, Ula, right? But what I want to say, it's like, no, we don't acknowledge, like, the people who lost their job and stuff like that. It's all that happens. It was, that's why we call it, in some terms, it's called a shit year, because people did that. And you can still go by, being affected by circumstances and say, right, I lost my job, that's why I cannot do some stuff, or, la la la. Or, you can say, all right, I lost my job, and what am I going to do about it? Right? So, like we said, that is why I also have these talk shows and podcasts on this stream. That is why I invite you people and all the guests. I want to expose that here is, and what exactly the, through life of people who are pursuing their passion, you see what is necessary to live it. And we had Pam Jackson this Wednesday here, last Wednesday. And she said, I sent out 300 applications in 2 months, right? 300 applications for a job. Like, right? And okay, she lived in Washington, D.C., and that, it's a big city. There is so many companies. People can go immediately, yeah, but there has to be 300 jobs, right? Man, if there's not 300 jobs, how can I sell 300 applications? Yeah, but there is 10 jobs and you didn't send 10 applications, right?
Exactly.
Or, there's opportunities otherwise and you didn't took it. So, start, just like Andrew said, start living consciously and start recognizing the bullshit, right? Because we put so much bullshit into, like, all the meanings. It's, 2020 is bullshit here. That's a meaning. It's not, 2020 is 2020. That's what happened. It's 2020 happened, and it will end in a couple of days. And what we did, we did, and what we didn't do, we didn't do. That's just the reality of it, right? And that is why this is really powerful tool, that you declare that this year is complete. Like, you declare that what you didn't do is complete for you, saying it out loud. Then it's kind of really becomes complete. It's like, you didn't swoosh it under the rug of, because what we people usually do, right, with the ticks, we pretend they don't exist. Like, we have a dog shit in the room and we put carpet over it and we say, and we pretend that we don't have dog shit in the room. That's how mostly we live.
Scented candles.
Yeah, right? And Andrew said, in the meantime, people have complained about the job. They were not satisfied. Now they have lost their job and have the opportunity to do many businesses online, but they're rather complaining that they have lost their job. True that, man. I mean, especially for people who are, more dealing with people who, what you just explained happened to them. I would say exactly right. So that, complain will always be there, and we can complain or we can do something about it, just like Ula said. And that is a great thing. That is a great. What you gonna do about it, right? For me, it was also like, I was thinking about streaming, and I started doing it. It's gonna be soon 2 years, but I didn't really pursue it because in the meantime my schedule was really packed. And then, when all this started to happen, I went back. And I still don't know if this is the final form of streaming. It's the podcast, talk shows, the gaming, I don't know. But, and I was like, mostly how you go is it needs to be perfect, right? I have to start it perfect. Like it has to be designed in a specific way, which questions were the most hard for me when people said, who are you targeting out there? Which people are you targeting? And I'm like, bro, I'm doing live stuff. I don't know, everybody, I guess. Because, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, it's like, 10 years old kids does it, 15-year, 25, 50-year, 80-year-old people do it. So I don't know, bro, really. I was just like, can it be for everybody? No, no, no. When you go out there on the market, you have to have a specific target of people. I'm like, people on Twitch, is that okay? I was like, and I get there, when you have a hair product, to make a shauma, like more, hair like that, right? It's like you have a specific target, people whose hair are like, drain, and like they can get them up. Okay, cool, I get it. I'm here like, I'm not selling Viagra here, I'm just giving live content so everybody can be in it. So it was all that, and it's so funny to see. Right now I started to have fun inside of it, and just like what Ula said before, I didn't like to do stories. It's like one of the hardest thing for me is do posts and so. Every time I have to do it, I have to force myself. I have to force myself, but it is what is required, and therefore you do it. And then soon I will start loving it, I'm sure. Well, there is a saying, let go of what was, have faith in what will be, surrender to what is. And Robi is remembering about the hair problem. Mentioning this. Well, there is a saying, right? But most people don't understand it. They don't even, it's a saying. It's something nice to hear. Like we have a saying, keep it simple. We have that saying. It's a nice saying, right? But do you keep it simple? Like, you're being in a toxic relationship, keep it simple. What will keep it simple do? Well, it will go out, right? You will go out. If it's a toxic, you won't be staying in it, right? Or you would first look into it. All right, am I being the toxic one? Okay, honestly, I am. Okay, if I cut it, let's see what happens. All right, it's still toxic. Then, you need to cut it. But then you don't, right? So, saying are nice and are good, but it's just like, you have to put thought into that. Right? Have to look yourself in the mirror and acknowledge, like, So to say a little more about this year, right? So let's go on the court and let's just look for our lives. Like, Emma, what do you see like about this year that last year you said you're gonna do something this year and then you didn't do, and how is that for you? How does that exist?
Well, I don't even remember. I know that I said for some stuff that I'm going. I said that this year I'm going to be disciplined.
All right.
And okay, I was for some stuff, and I wasn't for others. But actually, this year for me was, in fact, great until the start of December, that when all this crushing anxiety rushed in. But otherwise, I was really enjoying this year because I did a lot of stuff on, for my growth, the house, and I started to work the job that I really enjoy, with the veterinary clinic. And I had a lot of stuff that I accomplished that I wanted to accomplish before. So I was really pleased with myself that I accomplished such stuff. And at the same time, there is a lot of stuff that it's still there.
Mhm.
I still don't do, I don't know, I still don't, as I said before, for the studying, I don't do it like with the track. I don't
Mhm.
track it with, I forgot how it said, but on the same day that I would study the thing that we do. So there is a bunch of
No
stuff that
integrity.
stayed the
See?
same. What?
No integrity. But
Yeah, no integrity. Exactly. A lot of stuff there's just, I've said, oh, that I'm gonna change that, but there is no real juice to it.
yeah.
I would just say it, which is
Mm.
kind of like stupid thing to say, because a word really is powerful, as we were also talking before. Just with communication, you can make feelings disappear, you can make a bunch of stuff like just okay and get over it
Mhm.
by acknowledging it and declaring it. And I had a lot of stuff that I just said it just like that, without real intentions on working on it. And I don't know, I'm actually okay with it now.
Mhm.
But if I would really dig into it, I would probably also get to the, I don't know, frustration with how low on integrity some stuff are.
Mhm.
But yeah, otherwise this year was really enjoyable for me, apart from the finish of it. So it's really great for me to now to just accept that what happened, and to be proud with myself for stuff I did, and to also be okay with the stuff I didn't do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have just one question, right? Because you didn't straight shoot with some area, and we usually don't shoot with this area out, but it's just like area of relationships with other people, right?
Ooh.
How are you with
Yeah,
that?
with other people.
Uh,
Yeah, I've had some pretty great conversations with some
Mhm.
people. I've even like reached out to some people that I didn't talk to for years, and I had really inspiring, deep, and moving in a way that I was like, oh my god, these people, I didn't talk to them for like multiple years, and now they're like just opening up, and we can be talking really vulnerably, being vulnerable. So that was great. And at the same time, a lot of my relationships, I would say, that suffer, and I would blame it on Corona, because as you said, and then you set up a video call and they're like meh. And I'm also a lot of times that person that I'm like, I'm not really happy with video calls. I want to see the people in live. I want to hug them. I want to chat with them. I want to eat with them. Like but yeah, so I would blame it on that, which is, well, unresponsible from me, but unresponsible in a way that I don't take action, that I would do anything different. So yeah, that. What did you? Was there anything else that you were
Yeah, I'm
pointing
just.
to, or?
I mean, point was that that is an area we usually forget and don't mention. We always are hooked on finances or well-being or getting better at some stuff. And then there is the area, you go like, yeah, it's okay. And then when you really look into it, like you did right now, well, it's all not that okay. And I think you were for a moment connected, if I hunched it correctly, that you saw the somehow the source of your anxiety right there, right? That it was just
Yeah.
like, from it, and it happens. Life happens in relationships, even to people and to stuff, right? You have a certain relationship with money and a car and a partner and stuff like that. So, and if that relationship is not the way you want it to be, it's like, if you have a commitment that you will call your grandma every week and then you didn't do it, well, guess how you feel after half a year not doing that, right? It's a good thing to be anxious about, right? I mean, just to give a like broadened perspective, like, and thank you for sharing that. All editing for you. Like, how it was this year for you, like in terms of what did you get, didn't get, what did you set up that is gonna happen and it didn't happen, and how is that for you?
Well, one thing that I said I'm gonna do and I didn't finish it is I said that in December my Power Lady webpage is gonna be on, and I'm gonna be selling clothes and everything online. And sorry, and so many things happened in like last month that I kind of forgot or something. I don't know.
No, just say it how it is. Look, now is the moment to say it how it is, right? You didn't forget
well,
about it. What happened?
I kind of forgot about it. Not forgot, but I was like, my mind was so occupied with other stuff that I didn't think about it. So
Exactly.
there were moments I was like, oh shit, I have to do that, and then it just went away. But on the other hand, I did some other stuff that were maybe even more important than this one. I put myself first. I explored what I want from my life, how I want to live, who I am, who I want to be, what what my partnership what my partnership should look like, and things like that. And I think that if I don't know who I am, and if I'm not like living the fulfilling life I want to live, it doesn't matter if I have that web page or I don't, because fundamentally I'm not okay. So I'm kind of happy with everything I did, how I'm finishing this year. Obviously, there's always something I could do better. How I see it. I wasn't perfect in that area, and I could do better in that area. But I think that there is always something. We will always find something that we can be better. We can improve. So yeah, I this year was really challenging. I know it was hard for a lot of people, but it was also, I think it was a gift that we can be more with ourselves. And there's another thing, you can get anxious because you are so much with yourself that some things are coming up, and it's completely fine. I mean, it's not fine, it's not nice feeling, but it's okay. You embrace it, and that's it. And it was really cool for me, because I was so much with myself that I saw that something is not right. I need to look into it, and as you said, am I the problem of the situation? Am I the source, or I'm not the source? And then you transform yourself, or you try to transform the situation or relationship or whatever. But there are always two how did they say, to dance tango or something, right?
All right, cool. I mean, to be honest, I'm a bit confused where you at a little bit. It was a bit conceptual what you were saying, to be honest, right? And speaking honestly, but I got it. It's like a lot has happened, and it's a lot to dwell in. But I just want to say, when you said that this stuff happened and I deal with that, and I did put that aside, forgot about it, didn't deal with it the way I planned to, then say it's like. And then you said that maybe these stuff that I was dealing with are more important than, because I'm not fulfilled, so the page is not important, right? But I wanna it's not gonna be nice what I'm gonna say, but I want to say it is important and it does matter, because that was your plan. You put your word into it, you put your actions into it, other people's all about all this. And that is also how you could pull yourself out of, everything else, and not dwelling so much, losing time in everything that was going on, and putting mind and not sleeping and being, whatever the emotions you went through. And I want to expose that it's not easy to do that, because it's all the feelings and all the emotions. It's like it's usual stuff that happens for us people. It's like the feelings, emotions, the minds come up, like, like you said, there will always be something that, you can get better at, or there will always be something that you can put yourself down for it. It's like, you could be the champion of the world in whatever you're doing, and you will still be like, man, it doesn't mean anything because, I could do this and I didn't, it's like, and if I'm crappy, then everybody else is crappy. You can go ego tripping on everybody else. But, and in that regard, I want to say it is important to stick with what you're planning, because when you plan this page, it came from pure passion and desire for it, and just who you are about this. And when you didn't do it, you couldn't connect to that when you were not in that project. So you were more connected into, all right, this is happening. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. It's like, I want to fix it. You know what I mean? Just, it's how we get, right? And that is what I want to give out to everybody. It's just like, look, you have a plan to do something, then just stick to it. No matter what feelings you will have. It's another thing if something happens in that plan, if you have a conversation with one designer and that designer, close down the business and you have to find a new designer. But, that's not going to throw you off. It's not going to be like a big issue. Just say, all right, I need to find a new designer, right? But when it comes to or it can be, for some people, it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Now I have to find a new designer. Where will I find them? Nobody is so good at him. And then you come home like that. And partner says something like, leave me alone. This happened and now you. And then the kids and everybody and everything is like on fire. Like that. Just because we didn't deal with what happened right there, didn't declare it in the moment. All right, this is happening. What I'm gonna do, and we don't go out there and say, hey man, this is happening. No. Can I be 5 minutes complaining and then we find, the solution to it? We don't do that, right? But it's so powerful when you do it. It's like, all right, the problem lasts 5 minutes. Otherwise, it lasts 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, 2 months, 10 years. For some people, 60 years, right? So to put it out there, really, to be on the grind. I don't even know. I want to translate the word "the grind" in Slovenian, and I don't get a good translation for it. It's like stupid translations. But yeah, and Ula, it's great what you share. Even though I said it's conceptual, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's great because things did happen and they did interrupt what you were planning to. And I just want to expose that does matter. It does matter. Right? It would be, tell me if it doesn't matter. Would be different if you would have a page set up the way you wanted to have it today?
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, what would be different if you would have the page that you wanted to be set up the way that would be finished and it's not? Would that make a difference today if it would be finished?
If it would be finished?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I meant. It's like it would make a difference. And it could be finished regardless of what was happening with you, right?
Definitely.
That is the thing, yeah. Right. For me this year, man, I don't know. Like I said before, it's frightening, right? I became a dad. It started great. It's like January, February, it was awesome. It was just like, the income was increasing. We came from a honeymoon. Usha was pregnant. We make plans. The whole thing was going towards what I said, how 2021 will go. And then comes this corona. It's just like, it puts like a foot on everything, right? So from my income went down for almost 50%. that's like, that's quarter of our household income. So, you need to adapt to that. And then, all the things with Corona and adapting and going to the seaside, not going to the seaside, all the time is this conversation, right? Going, not going. So a lot about relationships. Like I'm a hugger. I like to hug people. So this year was like, it's underhugged, right? Luckily, our son was born and I have Ursha at home. So, I can, I get like 10 to 20 hugs per day. But more or less, I get hugged from the little one because I pick him up in the, in the left. So he kind of like has no way to go but to hug me, right? To be with me. It's like he cannot run away from it, right? But it's, and then also, you set up a plan with stream, which probably might go different because I would do more workshops. I could say more to more people, and then I was afraid like going online with the workshop because it's going in an anonymous way so that, the people don't know what other people, the participants ask. So then I found a page which actually supports that, which is really cool. You only see the questions, but you don't see who asked the question. So, all that is like, I was afraid of that. What if I go up there, right, and somebody else just find out who asked that question, and let's foresay the question will be, how to deal with being raped, and now nobody knows that happened to that person, and suddenly everybody knows, And being a teenager, if other people get to know this, it's like, it's really unpleasant, right? So that was my biggest concern and fear, and but then there are always risks, and that's why I was petrified because of all this stuff. It's just like, it was, the son growing up, he was being, there's all this fama about vaccination, having Corona, going there, not going there. If Ursha gets Corona, let's say that she ends up in hospital, like, the whole breastfeeding stops for Ty because I don't think they will let him be in there with her. He would probably be home on a, artificial milk and stuff like that. So it's all that coming up, right? The little one is crying. You don't know what to do. You want to throw yourself out of the window. You want to throw him out of the window. You don't know which solution would be better, right? The mind has all crazy ideas. So, and then all the the stream, the teams that I have, the leaders of the teams that I am, and then people not doing well, I'm not well, it's hard to watch that, but you don't know how to always deal with that. So it's all that. It was a crazy year in that regard. And then, yeah, I would say I took the best out of it, as in case of opportunity to grow. Just like Ula said before, I know to acknowledge here we are a little different in that, so to speak, breed of people that actually goes after opportunities much more than dwell into the complaints and problems and blame everybody else for the situation we're in. But that doesn't mean that we are above anybody or anything else. It's just like more solution oriented. So it gives me a lot, I need to step up in my leadership. It's like there was a lot of things accomplished that they probably wouldn't be. So yeah, we're just like, I don't know. I could say ridiculous. Let's pull out ridiculous stuff, right? I fulfilled my childhood dreams. Like, we won a tournament in gaming at the age of 34. I won a tournament in Call of Duty Warzone, right? And earn money with it. It's just like, something that I was dreaming since age of 18, 17, when this gaming starts being competitive and, you could earn money from it. So it's like these kind of, things that then you always postpone, or you can go after them. So that is why also I set up the stream the way I set it up, to empower and inspire people. Go after what you dream, even though it's so silly. It doesn't matter. Or I could die with this regret. I imagine myself at the age 130 and thinking about why I didn't go after that. I don't want to do that. I want to sit at the age 130 on my porch drinking tea, see all the generations that, came out of our creation with Ultra, and saying this is it, and fall asleep. And that's it, that's my way out. The whole plan is out there. And they will go like, Grandpa, it's your time to rest now. Everybody will understand it. That's like how I want to do it, right? And it really comes from this, like that we really like. Imagine now, everybody, like even everybody who is watching, if you looked into your lives, and I'm sure you did, right? And you see the whole year, and probably what you saw is like we are more or less in the same boat. It's like and expressing it differently, and it's just so sad that we don't talk about it more. I mean, really have conversations about that rather than, who is better, Luka Doncic or LeBron James. Who gives a fuck, man? They don't pay us anyway. But, I like sports, so, I like to watch them both anyway. But I just had the type of conversations that make a difference. Now just say out loud for yourself. Really do this, right? Really do this. Just say out loud. I declare 2020, whatever happened and whatever didn't happen, complete. Like, say it outside for yourself, like nobody else is watching, right? Nobody else. Like, it's you, and whether you watch it on the phone, laptop, if you're alone, even if you're not alone, just say it. I declare 2020 complete. And you guys can say it too. I will say it first for myself. I declare 2020 complete.
I declare 2020.
It's okay. It's okay.
I declare 2020 complete.
Yeah.
Cool. I declare 2020 complete.
All right. If it's not, there are still 3 days to do it. Right, exactly, JP. If you don't want to do it now, happy cakes. If you don't want to do it now, you can do it in extra days, or you don't need to do it. It's like it's your choice. But I personally invite you to do it. So it's like, what are you present to now, Emanuela? It's like that is the thing. Like when you declare something complete, right? What's then present? Like, what's the thought process then about 2020?
It's just complete. There's nothing to fix or change. It was the way it was. And now you can create whatever you want.
Perfect. Couldn't say it more brilliantly. And it is like that, right? It is that simple. So we can either live in the past and go all by the missed opportunities, say, what we did, we didn't do. Okay, if you hurt somebody, just go apologize, man. It's that simple, right? You don't need to do much about it. It's like call up, hey man, I guess I hurt you. I'm really sorry. I won't do it again. Next time I'll do this, and that's it, right? Simple. And Ula, you said it perfectly. Now it's time to create, right? Without saying, okay, last year I earned 20,000 euros, so next year I'm going to earn 30,000. It's like, it's all based on the past all the time. So what it's not based on the past, and it's like Ula said, it's nothing. So now let's create from nothing. So let's pick each of us one area, right? And that is basically the challenge for you guys to play with it. Like, we always give challenges in podcasts, and since Alex went, he was like our stand for, the structure. We kind of lose it a little bit, to be honest, see how it goes. And it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, when it's 4, it's 1 set of motions. And when it's 3, you got to find your thing there. And, the structure is still good, and we're going to still keep on it, just maybe adapt to it a little bit more. So yeah, what it's present to, like, one area that you want to really powerfully create for 2020, like what's going to be accomplished by 31st of December 2021.
Jesus.
All right. I mean, it's cool, but you're creating from nothing. So, just pick an area. There's many areas. You have well-being, you have sleeping, you have habits, you have finance, you have relationships, all kind of relationships. You have like your business. Emma, you have the house. Ula has like, new beginnings, like new apartment, so whichever area.
I already have it. I mean, not the part.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm gonna travel to 12 different destinations till the end of 2021.
All right, cool. And now, plan, structure, right? But it is, right? But otherwise, it's just a pie in the sky, saying it to look good. I'm gonna travel, That's what we usually do with New Year's resolutions, to look good. I'm gonna do that. Nah. All right, But when you said it, it was just like, all right. My immediate thought was like, no, but there is virus going around. How are you gonna travel? But at the same time, I was like, who knows what's gonna happen? So, if she said it, she can do it. I mean, you could go to Maribor, Celje, and it's 12 different destinations. I mean, who said it's gonna have to be Antarctica, Arctica, and Australia, and so on. So cool. Yeah, Emma.
Yeah, I picked the house. I'm just thinking what is the most fun thing I want it to be finished, and I chose that, and it's gonna be a lot of work. I'm already thinking about that, but I want to that by 31st of December on 2021 whatever by the end of the last year, that our outside outdoor kitchen is finished, because we have to do the whole terrace or the place for it, and we're gonna do the kitchen for outdoor but on our own, and I'm so excited about that, and I'm planning to be finished.
Thank you, babe.
Great.
All right, and I have a challenge that you already eat at least 5 times from that outdoor kitchen.
All right. Oh, summer's gonna be fantastic. Then I'm gonna get it finished by summer. Cool.
Yeah. And in the meantime, Happy Cake says, since Slovenia has like 200 plus municipalities, now going to another one is a big process, just like traveling. I mean, you have to write out but I'm sure, Ula, you didn't have that in mind, right?
No. For sure not.
12 different countries?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. For me, 2021, I mean, I have a lot of things already in motion, planned, and every group that I'm in, I'm planning it. But since we're on stream, I'm like, I really am enrolled, like what I want to cause with this stream by end of 2021 is that it will be the most recognized stream in Slovenia, and we will have 1,000 subscribers on it, active subscribers. So that is it. Going big, it's scary. It's like, but motion, sorry, and structure is there. So, we know as a team, and I really want to expose my team here, the people who are standing, like Karina, Braxo, Happy Cake, Slow Assassin, to not forget my wife and you two here, and all the guests, and Alex, who was with us, and Rok, who is doing the amazing graphic design. He just finished new avatar. We will give it out 1st of January. Man, I just said it right. So yeah. So really want to acknowledge you guys for doing that. We're all doing this, I'd say, volunteering, assisting into this program to inspire and give people a good time up here. So yeah, I'm gonna go big. That's it. That's one area, and I'm like, I'm sweaty right now, to be honest. It's like, I think this shirt will need to go straight into, even though it's fresh, it needs to go straight into a dishwasher after this. So yeah, that is for us. You guys pick for yourself one area what you want to accomplish, and then spread it out to more areas. Just play, see which areas are important to you. Complete 2020. And then create 2021. And if you need anything, it's like help in structures, in plans, what to do, how to plan that it goes through. I know you're capable and successful people already, but you can still ask, because sometimes we get stopped no matter how much knowledge we have, or no matter how much we think we are capable. And why would you dwell in the same, what would it be if you imagine that it's over 2021 and you're in the same spot, pretty much the same spot, in whatever area, it would be, it would be what it would be, but I'm sure we don't want that. Standing here for you guys is just like, that's what we love to do. That's why we're here. So, ask us, enroll us into, whatever you're up to, and we'll see how we can support that. By the time Hutch says, got you tapped up, happy hunting, and GG, sorry can't stay streaming myself. Hey Hutch, thank you for being here, my number one cheerer. You did a lot, and being subscribed, thank you for supporting this channel, appreciate it. So Happy Cake says, I hope it happens, because that's one thing I miss from 2020, traveling. So that goes to Ula, and thanks for popping by, Hutch. Definitely thanks. Mods are doing their jobs. GG, everybody. This is it for the last podcast of this year. New Year's resolutions, whatever you set yourself up, be committed to it, and do not put emotions, feelings, body sensations, mind, memories, all the shit that automatically comes up in your way. Go after what you want. That's it. Anything you want to say, guys, for the end?
That's perfect.
Yeah, you just put it well.
All right. We did it. See you next year. Bye-bye.
See you next year.